I thought that in today's video we could do a bit of a book challenge. Decided to sort my screen time with reading for a week. I'm not sure why I chose this week to do this because I have 3 assignments due, so it's literally the busiest week ever. But I'm up for the challenge anyway. I mean, reading more, on my screens less, all the good things. I just thought it'd be fun. I've taken my average screen time for every day from last week and I'm gonna base this challenge off that. So for today, last Tuesday I was on my phone for 1 hour and 18 minutes, which is actually pretty good. We have some bigger numbers coming up, quite big numbers coming up. For today it's manageable. I've actually already read 30 minutes this morning with breakfast. It's about 11 now. We can tick 30 minutes off and I think I can smash out today easily. I'm currently in the middle of 2 books. The first one is One Golden Summer by Carley Fortune. I just finished Every Summer After and I was told to read that before this, which is a new release. I'm 36% through and it's good. Nothing crazy yet, but I'm enjoying it. And then the second book I'm reading is a non-fiction book for book club. All I ever wanted was to be hot. I think I've mentioned this a bit on my channel already. I have this much left and the meeting is in 2 weeks, so I will definitely finish this in time. So this is what I will be tackling this video, and we'll probably start some new reads as well. I was about to sit down and have lunch, but I thought I would take this opportunity to tell you what my book is about. So you just saw I've been reading. I knocked a little bit more off the timer, which I can't show you because obviously I'm filming on my phone, but I'll put in a screenshot. I've paused it now that I'm not reading anymore. But One Golden Summer follows Every Summer After, as I said before, because they're both in the same universe. So Every Summer After followed the main character Percy, Sam and Charlie, and Percy bought a cottage on a lake next door to Sam and Charlie, who are brothers. And that one is a romance between Sam and Percy. One Golden Summer is set in the same universe, but it's following the brother Charlie. They've introduced a new character, Alice, who moves to the lake for summer, and it's about her and Charlie. So Sam and Percy are mentioned, which I think is really fun. If you've read the other book before, you kind of know all of their history, like little cameos, but this one focuses mostly on Charlie and Alice and their story. Alice is a photographer. Her grandmother's friends own a house at the lake, and her grandma took her once when she was 17 and she hasn't been back, and now she's 30 something and her grandmother's hurt her hip and she's feeling down, so she decides to take them up to the lake for another summer there to boost her grandmother's spirits, and that is where she meets Charlie. It's fun. I can just like picture the summer by the lake. It makes me want to have a summer by a lake with all of my friends. It's just good vibes, low stakes, and a very easy read. So last Wednesday I had a screen time of 1 hour and 30 minutes, which means this Wednesday I have to read for 1 hour 30 minutes. As I said, we're starting off small, but they get bigger as the week goes on. The issue for today is though I'm at uni all day from 9 till 4, so that will not leave a lot of reading time. So I've started the clock this morning over my breakfast, but I only shaved it off about 5 minutes. So hopefully on the way to uni I can read a little bit more, breaks between my classes, or we'll have to stay up all night to finish the timer. I also forgot to say that I finished off my timer yesterday afternoon. I was before bed, so hopefully I can do the same today. I'm on my way to my last class and I've not had a chance to read all day. I still have an hour left on my timer. It's about 1:30 on Thursday, and last Thursday I was on my phone for 3 hours and 20 minutes, I think, something along the lines of that. What I was doing, no idea, but that means this week I have to read for that long. As I said, it's currently 1:30 and I still have 2 hours left on the timer. So I'm not sure if we're gonna finish it today, guys, because I have an assignment due tomorrow. So I might be failing the challenge already 3 days in. In my eyes, it's not a fail because I'm still forcing myself to read as much as possible and to replace my screen time with reading. And update, I finished One Golden Summer, so I've already finished a book in this video and it's literally been 3 days. That just shows how long I'm on my screens for. I'm gonna land at a 3.5 for this. I know a lot of people enjoyed this one a lot more than Every Summer After. I'm not sure, they were around the same for me. This one, I felt like Charlie and Alice's connection was very physical, whereas Sam and Percy, since they met when they were kids, we kind of saw them connect in a non-physical way before they explored all of that. But I loved being back by the lake. I loved reading about their story. It was still a really cute romance. It was nice to be back with these characters. But that means I have to decide what to read next because I need to get a new book quickly to finish this timer. So I'm gonna have to have a think about that and I'll let you know. Yesterday I finished my timer, as you saw, had 20 minutes left at around 9:30, just because I'd been reading on and off the whole afternoon, just starting and stopping my timer. I just didn't film it. And then today I feel like I've literally been reading all morning. Like, I read on the way to uni, I read a little bit in class because my class was boring. Wait, may as well cut some time off. Despite my non-stop reading, I still have over 2 hours, so we will see if I get it done. Bit of an O5 angle for tonight. I have good news and bad news for you guys. The good news is that I chose my next read, which is going to be Beartown by Fredrik Backman. I've been reading so much romance and I just wanted something that had a bit more substance, and I've heard really good things about Beartown. The bad news is I did not finish my time for today. I still have 2 hours 20 on the clock. It was just a really busy day. But I guess the time that I would have spent on my phone, I did spend reading today, so challenge not completely failed. But yeah, I didn't finish my time. I'm gonna go to bed. It's about 10 p.m. and I will see you in the morning. Okay guys, it's a new day, so the plan is to just cut our losses for yesterday and move on to today's time, which is 1 hour 55. And I have faith that I can do that. I'm gonna start Beartown because I didn't start it last night, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually excited. So I'm just reading and I've started Beartown. As you've seen, I'm about 20% through right now, and I will say I'm intrigued. I think it's a bit too early to kind of tell what the plot is, but I'm interested. Fredrik Backman has pulled me in with his writing. We are meeting a lot of different people, meeting a lot of different perspectives, but they're all tied in. We don't just have one main protagonist. We keep jumping every few paragraphs or so. I've only read one Fredrik Backman book, and that was Anxious People. It wasn't my favorite, but I see why people may have liked it. But it was similar in the fact that we got so many perspectives and we kind of got to look into all these different people's minds. So Beartown, from what I can gather, is about this really small town in the middle of the forest, and it gets really cold and no one can really live there, but the people from this town are adamant that they will stay there and they will not leave, and they don't want the forest to kick them out. There's kind of nothing in the town anymore apart from hockey. Hockey is the town's saving grace and main focus, because they think that it'll put them back on the map and that the government will give them funding for better roads, better facilities if they become one of the best hockey teams, because they once were. Honestly, that is all that has happened so far. All I know is that the junior team has a hockey game coming up and it's a semi-final, so it's really important and everyone's invested. But apart from that, nothing has happened. I'm excited to keep reading and see what happens. Guys, this morning I have to tackle 5 hours and 33. Why was I on my phone for that long? What was I doing? I'm not sure if we'll make it, but I do have no plans, so we have a good chance of knocking off a large chunk of it. But I'm just making my breakfast and I've brought my Kindle and we're gonna kick the timer off. Okay, it is 6:20 and we have 2 hours 30 left on the timer, which means I've done 3 hours of reading. I feel like every spare second today I've just been reading to try to get this done. I'm not gonna lie, it hasn't been that difficult because Beartown is so good. Fredrik Backman's writing is really interesting and I actually want to keep reading. So it hasn't been difficult. If I was reading a bad book, this would be a lot harder. But I actually am engaged and want to keep reading. Percentage check, I'm 41% through now, so almost halfway. And I'll see if I get the next 2 hours done tonight before I go to bed. But yeah, I thought I would check in and let you guys know where I'm at. It's Tuesday. Yep. So I think literally the last thing I filmed was Sunday night, and I was saying I had 2 hours left on the clock for my 5-hour challenge, and I'm here to report that I did not get it done. So that is the second day that I failed. And then yesterday was Monday. I had a challenge of 3 hours and 25, and I ended up reading for 1 hour. So I still had 2 hours 20 left. And now we are on Tuesday, which brings us to the end of this challenge, and I'm happy to report that over this week my screen time has been down and I've read around 13 or 14 hours all up. I finished 2 books and I'm almost done a third, which just shows how much you can do when you're not scrolling for hours on end. Now, a little review of what I read. So I read One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune, which I already spoke about at the beginning, and I gave my rating. Then I finished All I Ever Wanted Was to Be Hot, which is a non-fiction by Lucinda Price, and it's really difficult to rate this book because it is a non-fiction. It kind of doesn't follow the normal ratings that books do. Maybe a 3.5 or a 4, because I found some of the things really interesting. I underlined heaps and tabbed little pages down, but then I also found it a little bit repetitive. So I'm just not sure what to land on, but I'm excited to hear what my friends thought when we have a book club meeting, which is next week. That was the second book from this video. And then the third book we finished in this video, well, almost finished, is Beartown by Fredrik Backman. I've been reading it on my Kindle. After yesterday, I'm now 66% through, so I'm getting there, and it's honestly gripping. Like, I do not want to put this down. I think I said this before, I didn't really enjoy his other book that I read, which was Anxious People, but I'm liking this a lot more. I'm connected a lot more to the characters. I explained a little bit before that it's about this small town and they are a hockey town, like that's their one thing going for them, but it's so much deeper than that. It deals with a lot of heavy subjects in a really interesting way. I just am fascinated by his writing. I haven't read any book like it, so I'm excited to finish reading that. But that brings us to the end of this challenge. I'm happy we did it. I didn't really scroll at all this week, so hopefully I can carry that habit into next week and read more. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon.